Do you ever wonder how certain people get their jobs? Do you ever think, like, you be, I don't know, seeing like a nurse or like a fucking truck driver or a fast food worker, and you just and they're just really really bad at it, and you just go, how the fuck did you get your job? How is that possible? How did you manage to make it to the station that you currently occupy? How's that possible? Someone as ass retarded as you. How did such a thing occur? That's how I feel every time I see Caitlin Collins. Would, by the way. Of course I would, but would, by the way. Uh, yeah, she recently got, made to look incredibly stupid by border czar Tom Homan. Homan is the homie. I'm telling you, Homan's. I like Tom Homan a lot. He don't take no shit from nobody. He's like, the John Wayne toilet paper. He's rough and tough and don't take shit off nobody. Anyway, shout out to the conservative brief author John Dougherty. I don't know how you would pronounce that. I guess that would be Dougherty. Anyway. Oh, apparently this story's from 2 weeks ago. Well, I just saw it today, so that's why I'm covering it today. It's still funny. Border czar Tom Homan engaged in a fiery back and forth with CNN host Caitlin Collins over deported MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was sent by the administration back to his native El Salvador and placed in custody last month. During the segment, Collins noted a recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling that directed the Trump administration to facilitate Abrego Garcia's return, while also relying on an older court ruling from 2019 allowing Abrego Garcia to remain in the country for the time being to claim that the administration screwed up in removing him. It didn't. Like, he was removed on purpose with good reason. He's an MS-13 gang member, and he should go. But neither argument was successful against Homan. I'm going to skip all the quotations because I'm going to play the little video down here. So, Caitlin Collins asked him some shit, and Homan responded by citing the facts of the case, that Abrego Garcia was, in fact, in the country illegally, had been identified by 2 separate immigration courts and a subsequent finding from El Salvador that he was a member of the MS-13 gang, and that President Trump has since designated the gang as a terrorist organization. Collins again brought up the 2019 court ruling, though she failed to note that several things have changed since then, including Abrego Garcia being designated a member of a terrorist group as well as his past criminal record. And it kind of, they just kind of, quotes, and blot out. Let's just play the video.
I've seen some people look at this and say they're worried that the stance of this administration when it comes to this is that if someone is deported by accident.
For the record, Tom Homan can barely fucking talk. He can barely fucking speak. It's kind of endearing.
That they have no responsibility for them once they are in the custody of a foreign government. What would you say to that?
Well, they're in the custody of El Salvador. He's an El Salvadoran national. He was born in El Salvador. El Salvador has him in custody, and El Salvador decide what happened to him. I mean, again, the El Salvadoran president made it clear he's not going to release him. So again, I'm going to go back. The DOJ, they can fight this out in the courts. As I'm not a part of that. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a prosecutor. So we'll let the courts, decide what the next steps will be.
Even though it was a U.S. immigration judge who said the one place he can't go is El Salvador. I mean, he could have been deported literally anywhere else.
Again, we can keep going back and back, but again, that was years ago. Country conditions were different. That gang no longer exists in El Salvador. He had been designated a terrorist since that time. 2 different federal judges said he's an MS-13 member. A police department said he's an MS-13 member. ICE data shows he's an MS-13 member. El Salvador says he's an MS-13 member. As you know, MS-13 has been designated terrorist. The case says that the facts of the case have changed since that first decision. So again, I'll leave it up to the DOJ to argue that case in court, but that is where I stand, and that's my belief.
Based. Like I said, fucking Tom Homan his tongue has got to be like 2 feet wide, and he's just like he's like I don't mean to talk shit because I like Tom Homan, but it's just funny, What can I say? We have a sense of humor. We like to laugh over here on the right. We like to poke fun at each other. We like to have a good time. We like to banter. A federal appeals court on Thursday rejected the Trump administration's emergency request to block a judge's order requiring the U.S. government to return Abrego Garcia to the U.S. The Department of Justice has asked the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit to overturn the order, but the court declined to do so. The 3-judge panel consisted of Judge Harvey Wilkinson, a Reagan appointee. Damn, he's been there a while. Judge Robert King, appointed by President Bill Clinton, and Judge Stephanie Thacker, appointed by President Barack Obama. Oof, 2 liberals. In the court's opinion, Wilkerson repeatedly referred to Abrego Garcia as a resident, even though Abrego Garcia was not a lawful U.S. resident, Fox News reported. And he wasn't. But as I've said before in my other videos, activist judges are a fucking problem. A major fucking problem. Like, when you become a judge, when you put on the robe, you're supposed to stop being, at least while the robe is on, you're supposed to stop being a Republican or a Democrat. You're supposed to be an arbiter of the law. Whatever the law says. And like, think about this. These Democrat judges literally see gang members of violent El Salvadorian and Venezuelan and Mexican gangs, and they go, look at these perfect little baby angels. Oh dear, I don't want them to go get deported to the country that they fucking came from in the first place. Quote, the government is asserting its right to stash away residents of this country in foreign prisons without the semblance of due process. That is the foundation of our constitutional order, Wilkinson wrote. This should be shocking not only to judges, but to the intuitive sense of liberty that Americans far removed from courthouses still hold dear. Doesn't shock me at all. Because as I've said before, non-citizens don't get due process. Sorry, not sorry. You shouldn't have been here illegally. All right? We, seriously, are the nicest country in the world when it comes to dealing with our illegals. Other countries are way harsher on their illegals. Way harsher. Like, I wish we were harsher. We're not. We should be meaner to illegals. Not like we people, individuals, but like, well, first of all, we should be in some senses. Like, if you are a business owner and you're knowingly hiring, like, illegal immigrants, shame on you. Seriously. Yeah, God forbid you have to pay, $7.25 an hour, which sucks, whatever. That's minimum wage. I'm not even really for a minimum wage, but still, like, God forbid you pay somebody $7.25 an hour. God fucking forbid. And think about this. If the illegals that you're paying to do work, if you're paying them more than $7.25 an hour, you should, like, just pay an American to do it. Fuck. If you insist on paying motherfuckers under the table, still pay Americans, which you shouldn't do because that's against the law. But, and I do not advocate for the breaking of any laws on this channel, but still, like, hire American citizens or legal residents even. They don't even have to be Americans. Just if they're legal residents, if they're here legally, like, they, American citizens first, legal residents get second priority, and then you should tell illegals to go fuck themselves. Into the catapults and over the wall. Anyway, totally would smash Kaitlin Collins. Tom Homan is a straight G. God bless Donald Trump. Anyway, like, hit the, and smash a like button and sub and comment to tell me how stupid I am. Seriously, I encourage haters. Like, I mean, I encourage anybody to comment, whether you agree or disagree. But seriously, disagreeers, I try to respond to comments. So, by all means, comment. Do algorithm stuff for me. Follow my links and follow me on X and all that shit. You know the drill. Throw me a bone.